Right, so Don't Want to Wake Up. I feel like this is where, because in the last song, Watch You Glow, we've built a bit in terms of the overall sound towards the end. It's quite anthemic. I feel like Don't Want to Wake Up is where your vocal becomes a bit more like definite. You've got a tinkling at the beginning and then your vocal comes in and it's quite strong. So is this a bit of a turning point in the album for you?
It's definitely a build. So 7 billion is just like, oh yeah. And then Watch You Glow is like, oh, it just feels good. And then it's like, whoa, moment at the end. And then it's like bringing the listener up into this space. And now this is
There's a bit of pace.
Much more upbeat. It's got this drive to it. One of my favorite parts is the M4, which is this little instrument which basically can't go out of tune. And my friend David showed it to me and I was like, are you joking?
I feel like this is the instrument for me.
Yeah, and it's just like, and it gives it that sort of like, it makes me think of like proper like Irish music, folk, a bit Mumford and Sonsy. It's got this like twang of like a banjo. It sounds a bit like a banjo. And it just gives it that, it takes it to a slightly different place as well.
Talk to me about what Don't Want to Wake Up is about, because on the title kind of seems like maybe it's like a dream. Yeah,
so it is. It's sort of trying to represent those moments where things are just so good that you just feel like you're in a dream. You can't wake up from them. But it was actually interesting. So it was when Rich and Dave came out to do the writing session, this is the one song that they had sort of started to tinkle on the plane together. Lucky people sitting next to them on the plane, and they started playing the idea to me, and I was like, oh, it's really good, I like it. And then, but it was for me, it's like I try to not do love songs per se, like in a straight up love song way, because I feel like they can try and do something a bit more different and interesting. So there was a bit of like a back and forth about, it was like straight love song, and I was like, can we not just be like a love song to those moments in life where you just like, and then it was kind of, and then when I kind of accepted that it was just going to be a really beautiful love song about just like, but it could be it could be about a partner, or it could just be about a moment or an experience as well.
What did you envision?
I mean, I felt like for this I wanted it just to be those moments. It could be like, when the sun's out and it's
still
summer
resistant,
and you're with
still resistant to it just being a straight up love song.
Well, it is. I mean, it's also, people always say, well, what's the song's about? You're asking, but I think songs are kind of a whole smorgasbord, like a mix of different experience and different things, and inspiration comes from different places. And for me, when I sing it, it's not specifically about love of a person. It's more love of moments in life where you're like, you may be at a festival with mates and just like this great music and you're feeling good and the sun's out and you're just like, oh my God, this feels so dreamy.
It's like pure joy.
It's just pure joy, and it's just capturing that. It's like, I don't want to wake up from this because it's just so beautiful. It feels like a dream.
And so it started obviously with the producers, with the sort of tinkling on the way over. Does that mean it was one of the first songs that was finished?
That was the first song we worked on, yeah.
Yeah. And then everything kind of built from there. So at this point, was it still an EP?
It wasn't until the end of day 2 where we had already written 5 songs. We were like, well, let's just keep going.
Yeah, we're only on day 2.
We're only on day 2. We've written 4 songs. We could probably smash an album out here. So.
And in this song, in Don't Want to Wake Up, what's your favourite lyric?
For me, it's not the lyrics specifically in this song that I'm drawn to per se. It's more the vibe.
Yeah.
I think my favourite part is this. It's the drive of this song. It's just like, and as an artist, like I've obviously listened to so many different people in my time. I just never forget having a night years ago with mates listening to Little Lion Man by Mumford & Sons and just going absolutely bonkers and just this like, build. And to have written a song that I feel has some qualities of Mumford & Sons in it, that just is just like, oh my God, wow. How cool.
You've got those lean-in moments where you're sort of talking, and then the energy that comes with it, the build. I feel like there's a line, I feel alive with you by my side. God, I said I wasn't going to sing. But I feel like with that as well, it is, like you've mentioned, it's not a love song per se, but that could be like your partner in crime by your side. It just kind of gives you that image.
It could be love, it could be friendship, it could be a moment, but I agreed, and that's a lovely sort of build up into the
Yeah.
Where
everyone can get involved,
it's that celebratory. It's sort of like capturing that energy of like, don't want to wake up because this is so good, and then the O's are that, it's like a moment just to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this one. I feel like it's a big moment. I personally felt like it was a turning point in terms of energy when it comes to the album as well.